What's up everybody? I know it's been a few months since I've actually done a video, but I've been really busy with work and everything, and retail sector is all, you need to work 60 hours a week to get off all these Christmas presents and everything. But I'm back now, I'm trying to get back in here, so I figured the first thing that I would do a kind of review slash get more for your money, performance bang and everything, would be for the new Steam Link that I got over the holidays. Now, I was very skeptical to try anything streaming since I got an Nvidia Shield portable about, I want to say maybe a year ago or maybe a little less than that, and it was just, in a word, awful. I mean, the thing almost never worked with game stream. I checked everything. I spent hours researching, and it was just awful. I mean, it worked like literally 2 times in the entire time I had it. It was a mess. It really was. Not even gonna lie. But thankfully, I didn't give up on streaming completely because I found the Steam Link, and the Steam Link is like the best thing ever. At least from what I've used of it. I have been using it for a while now, so I can honestly say that I've been testing most stuff out and gotten a pretty good feel for what the recommended maximum performance specs and everything are. So we're gonna go ahead and get right into that. What you'll really need for good streaming performance is obviously a good in-home network. Make sure your router is good, uncluttered. And what I mean by good is that you're going to need maybe a higher power router like a AC or even an AD. They have those now. So I guess an N would do just as good as long as it can handle maybe 50 megabits per second bandwidth. I mean, that's like a really maximum performance. They say that it should only take like 9 or 10 megabits per second to get good streaming HD quality, but you have to also get in the factor that the input from the controller that you're going to be using remotely has to go through for that as well. So you have that, and then you want really good performance, but unfortunately I've only been able to get it up to 1080p. I'm not sure if they have a 4K option, but I guess that could be coming in the future since everything, including texture packs, are going 4K now. So you're going to want to make sure you have a good router, and you're also going to want to be wired if you can. I know being wired is like, oh, I have to have 100-foot Ethernet cables all throughout my house. I'm like, no, that's not really necessary. Thanks to these revolutionary new things called Powerline Adapters. They are awesome. I have 3 of them that hook my main gaming PC, my casual gaming PC, and my Steam Link and consoles that I have set up in the bedroom. So those are actually really awesome, but you do need to drop a little bit of dime on them. I found them on Amazon for like, maybe 60 bucks. They were the 1200 megabits per second model. So obviously you're not going to get that much throughput on all of them, but it's what can be expected from going through the wall and trying to get power over Ethernet, or Ethernet over power line. Yeah, I guess that's what it's called. There's this video that was like 5 unique tricks that you can use for Ethernet cables or whatever, and that's kind of basically the opposite. But all that aside, you can find them on Amazon. Just look up Powerline Adapter, and those are actually really awesome because you can just plug it in to your Steam Link and then plug it into the wall, plug it in downstairs at the router or wherever your router is in your house. Mine's downstairs, so you plug it in downstairs by your router and run an Ethernet cable to that, and it's just as if you had an Ethernet cable going all the way through your house up to where the other one is, or through the wall, I guess would be kind of more sensible, but would take more demolition. Anyway, so after you get all that done, then it's basically just plug and play. I mean, they do have a utility adapter you can do to make like a massive network of up to like maybe 5, I think. It could support 10, but I'm almost certain it takes 5. I only have 3 plugged in right now, but you get that, and then you go into the settings. After you make sure you have all of that, you can get all the settings correct. But word of warning, if you don't have like a i5 or an i7 equivalent processor, the encoding for software or might be offloaded onto the graphics card. If you don't have like a 1070 or 1080, you want to make sure you have fairly good hardware for the encoding and for just stuff like that. Encoding, decoding, transfer over the network. You're going to want some pretty high-end software. You don't have to spend like thousands of dollars or anything, but just don't expect your Pentium 4 with a GT 730 to actually stream at 1080p 60 frames per second. I know that sounds really stupid to anyone who's well versed in graphics cards and hardware and all that, but some disclaimers have to be out there. But anyway, aside from that, just make sure you have pretty decent hardware. If you have medium level hardware, then you're probably going to get medium level performance. But then you can just put the resolution down to like 720 or something like that. So you're in here. I just have it on big picture display because this is what you're mainly going to be using on Steam. So I mean, you can use the regular one on the Steam streaming, but it's a lot easier to use this one because it is built for controllers. So we're going to get in here, settings, and this has all of your settings and everything. What you're really going to be mainly focused on would be resolution. You can set it up to all these different resolutions, and it actually goes down to 480. But no one really wants to game in 480s because it really kind of sucks, and I'm not sure if any modern games actually support a resolution that low. But if anyone actually wants to try that, they can leave a comment down and tell me how it went. I'm not going to try it. So you go to in-home streaming. You have my PC upstairs, my casual gaming PC. I'm on my hardcore gaming 4K tri-panel NVIDIA Surround right now. So the only other one I have is the casual gaming that only has one GTX 1080. You're also going to want to enable streaming. That's kind of a no-brainer, but it's the things that are right in front of you that you don't see because you're always used to seeing them. So I don't know. After you do that, you can go into your host options. I do recommend that you use hardware encoding so that can offload some of the stuff onto your GPU. Don't leave it all for your CPU. Your CPU will hate you, and it might decide to burst your computer into flames, and then you'll have to buy a new one, and no one wants to do that. So please use enable hardware encoding. And I'm not really sure what this specific capture method is, but I have it checked and I haven't felt the need to uncheck it. So I guess if you want to fiddle around with that, you're more than welcome to, or you can just copy the checks and options I have here. We'll go back, and you also have client options. Now this is what you'll be using from your Steam Link, and you can actually do this stuff from your Steam Link. You don't have to do it on the computer, but it might be a little bit more helpful the first time. You can do fast. It won't look as great, but it'll be super responsive. You can do balanced. It'll be a little bit of half and half. Or you can do beautiful, which will be stunning, or it might be, depending on your bandwidth. It'll be stunning, or as stunning as it can be, and your input might lag a little bit. So if you're playing like first-person shooter games, even single player, or of course it wouldn't be single player because you'll be annihilated online with the input lag from your house. But if you want to put it on beautiful, then you can go ahead and do that. And if you're playing something like Skyrim, like that's what I've been playing a lot of lately with Skyrim Special Edition, then you can just go ahead and do that. And it actually does look pretty good, but I just like to keep mine on balanced because 4K upscale TV, everything looks awesome, so you don't really need that much anyway. You go into your advanced client options, you can limit bandwidth, or you can actually put it to unlimited, but it says that it will increase latency, so I haven't really felt the need to mess with this either, so just leave it for automatic unless you feel the need to do otherwise. You can limit your resolution to this, or like I said, it even goes down to like 480, but who would really want to game in 480? Retro gamers, I guess. Maybe you're playing an arcade game or something. I don't know. The speaker configuration is kind of weird because I actually tested this with my I had my Turtle Beach Elite 800s on Bluetooth hooked up to the console. The Steam Link, which is, I guess it's kind of like a console, but not really. But I put it on 5.1 surround sound. I didn't really notice any significant, you know, what do you call it, directional hearing. So I just put it on auto detect stereo. I actually found something somewhere where it said that it didn't support anything above stereo, which seems kind of odd, but I'm not really sure what to do with it, so I just put it on stereo. I mean, I'm not playing first-person shooters where I have to hear somebody that is above me and slightly behind me to the left. You know, it's like, well, is it on the left side or is it on the right side? So do that. Enable hardware encoding for the client. That would be helpful if you're like using it on my like my casual gaming PC. Like, I'll leave this one down here just because it stays cooler in the basement year round. So I'll be up there, and in the summer it'll be like scorching hot because I don't know, it's like 90 something degrees outside, and it's just not a good idea. That's what thermal throttling my GTX 1080 Aero OC poor graphics card. Anyway, kind of getting off topic here, sorry, but it will work pretty good if you only have it on another gaming PC or another slightly, I guess it might even work with integrated graphics, but I just keep it checked. I mean, it doesn't really do anything negative to your Steam Link, so I mean, by all means, keep it checked unless you just really want to uncheck it, if you're just going to be defiant to a T or something. Display performance information is basically going to have a little tiny text down here that says streaming dash whatever your resolution is, like 1920 x 1080, and then it will also have button configuration where if you have a keyboard plugged into either your computer, I'm not sure if it works with the Steam Link, I haven't tried it yet, but I guess in theory you may be able to. It has F6 if you're on a keyboard, or start plus Y if you're on like a controller, which is obviously an Xbox controller. I'm not really sure why that is, but oh well. If you have a PlayStation 4 controller, just get on there, plug it in, get DS for Windows, and you'll have no problem, or at least you should. It works very well for me. I've been using it for a few months now, and there's nothing really bad there. You can actually remap the keys too if you want to. You can use the touchpad as a mouse, but that's the topic for another video, I suppose. And we have view support information, just take you to this support general in-home streaming webpage, you know, just go back there. So that's basically it. The main thing that really makes the difference is in the streaming performance is your home network, which would be Powerline adapters or a really strong router like AC, AD, maybe an N router, and the hardware you have in your streaming PC. Not the one that's receiving. I mean, you will need a little bit, but if you're on the Steam Link itself, then obviously it only has what Steam put in it. So if you have like an i5 or an i7 or maybe like I want to say a 970 or 980 or higher, then you should be fine. It shouldn't have any problems with you on 1080p. So that's pretty much everything for this video, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video, and make sure you come back and watch it many, many times, because this is definitely a very good product. I highly recommend it. Unlike some NVIDIA Shield portables, I still haven't been able to get that thing to work. Anyway, later, guys.